Hi everyone, it's Mindy. Today I'm sharing a couple of cards featuring some really fun creative die cutting, all made using the new Garden's Edge from Concord 9th. These dies are specifically designed to create a decorative, detailed edge and adds so much interest to your card designs. I always love when a company creates a design that makes it easier to create something a little different, and these definitely do that. I'll also be using the gorgeous new 2026 colors from Concord and Ninth to bring everything together and create a fresh color palette that really makes these designs stand out. Everything I'm using today will be linked down below in the video description if you're interested in any of these products. So here's a look at the Garden's Edge stamp set. This is a curated bundle that you can pick up together as well, or some of these products individually. But it does come with a stencil, which I was really excited about, and then a coordinating die. And the die is what I found really interesting when it came to this specific design. There's also two die cut sentiments that I'll be using at least one of them in my card project. Let's begin with our stenciling. So I am bringing out a grip mat and I have a piece of white cardstock from Concord and Ninth cut to 6 by 6, which is going to be the same size as the stencil. I thought it was easiest to start with a full sheet of cardstock to fit the stencil right off the bat. Now, because I don't have any excess hanging off the edge, I'm going to use the Spellbinder's Best Ever Craft Tape to hold my stencil down. And I'm going to start with this first layer using Lilac ink. So this is going to be a nice light wash of color for my base flower. I'm using a blending brush from Pink Fresh Studio to apply a light wash of that ink, but of course, any blending brush would work here. Now, once I finish that layer of the stencil, I'm going to go ahead and remove it. I'm going to step up my colors on this second layer of the stencil. So, this is meant to be a very, I would say, whimsical, almost kind of watercolory type of design, is what I would consider it as. So, on this layer of the stencil, I am using Aster ink. And this is such a fun and unique color. But like I said, I kind of wanted to step up these colors a little bit. They're beautiful if you just use one color each. But if you're familiar with me, I love to step up my shading. So I'm going to bring in Wildberry. And I also just think it's really nice to experiment with your colors to see how they layer together. So I am applying that ink with a mini blending brush, really focusing that color more down towards the bottom of each of the flowers. Using a smaller blending brush for this really helps me focus that color on the area that I want to be darker. Now, I'm going to step it up one more time because I just really wanted to play with the colors to see how they layer together. So this time I'm bringing in Plumberry, really keeping that down towards the bottom of each of the flowers. You could just use the stencil to create your images, but I am going to use the coordinating stamp set to stamp the details back in. So this finishes off the flowers. Now, if you felt like that bottom color wasn't quite dark enough, you could line that first layer of the stencil back up and add a little bit more of that lighter color. But I'm going to move on to my leaves. I'm starting with Surfside, which is one of the new colors too, and it is just a gorgeous color. It's kind of one of my top picks out of the new color release. I added that quick wash of color over the leaves. Then, of course, I'm stepping it up with a Juniper because there's only one layer to the leaves. So I feel like adding a little bit darker of a color helps add that contrast in there. And I think these new colors really mix well in the lineup. Aster was one of the other brand new colors. So I have Aster and Seaside kind of mixed in here with previously released colors. Now, the next layer of the stencil is going to add some additional flowers and details. You could do some masking to add multiple colors. I'm going to keep it pretty simple and I'm just doing one color over these areas. This is Buttercup, a nice wash of that light color. And then I will step it up again a little bit more with Stardust, which really just does not get a lot of love in my ink blending. So it's going to add a little bit of contrast to the flowers again using a mini blending brush to really focus in that dark shade. This is going to finish off the stenciling so you can see it's creating a beautiful whimsical look, but I do want to add the details back in. So I'm going to bring this over to my Misty stamping tool. I have a grip mat down at the bottom to hold my cardstock down, and then I'm bringing in the stamps. There's one for the top and the bottom. One thing to keep in mind is that these are not meant to layer perfectly over the top of your stencil design. It's supposed to be offset a little bit which I really do love this look. For one, I think it takes away the pressure of lining up a stamp set perfectly. And two, it gives it such a unique look. I'm going to stamp that in black ink, but I think some heat embossing would look really pretty here. I'll line up the coordinating dies for each of these. The dies line up around the outline of the image, and I'm going to hold that down with some low tack tape and run that through the die cut machine. And you're going to see how it creates these edges. So you could use one or you can use both, which is what I'm going to do on my card front today. And then I have a really fun, kind of fun fold card for you at the end of this video. I decided to bring in Bluebell cardstock, which is another new color, and I want to use that as my base. So this is the color that's going to show in between these two borders, but I was having a hard time actually seeing how it would look. I'm a very visual person. So I brought in a nesting rectangle die just as a visual purpose. That's showing me what is going to be trimmed off and what's going to be left on the front of the card. So that was just a great guide for me to help me decide how much to trim off, which I did do off screen. I'm also going to be adding some foam tape behind these borders just to kind of pop it up and really give it that dimensional look. So I'm adding foam tape behind both of the borders. And once I attach these down to the top and the bottom of the card front, then I will flip it over and trim off the excess on the sides using some scissors. You'll have to let me know down in the comments what you think of this color palette. It's something completely different for me, a little bit out of my comfort zone, but that is where I think we find just brand new color combinations to use when we kind of step out of our comfort zones and play with color. Next, I die cut out the word friend using Capri cardstock, which is also a brand new color. It's a really kind of, I would say, bold blue, and it's probably more bold than I typically go for. So I die cut it out 3 times from Capri cardstock. I layered each of the letters together and I added it to a white shadow layer. So this word friend does come from the Garden's Edge stamp set or bundle, actually, because it's coordinating die. And my idea is to place it right in the center, but I do want to add a sub sentiment underneath. The other thing I don't do very often at all is use colored cardstock for my sentiments. So I am going to tie this together using the Capri cardstock. I prepped it with an anti static powder tool, and then I'm stamping my sentiment in white pigment ink. So sometimes the cardstocks can be pretty saturated with color and don't want to emboss well. And I find by, for one, stamping it multiple times helps. And two, if I'm using white embossing powder, I will practically always use a white pigment ink. So I did that, stamped it multiple times, sprinkled on my white embossing powder, and then I'm heat setting that with my heat tool. I can then buff off any of the excess powder using a Swiffer tool to make sure that that cardstock is that nice bright blue again. And then I'm going to take this over to a mini paper trimmer and trim this down into a thin strip. And then while I have that extra cardstock there, I do trim out a couple more strips of cardstock so I can layer that behind the sentiment as well. I created a white card base and I'm going to go ahead and add some tape runner. And I'm adding my card front to this because my foam tape was kind of making my card front bow a little bit. So I wanted this to be nice and flat. Went ahead, added my front panel to that, and then I'm attaching my sentiment. So I added some foam tape to the bottom of the word friend. And then I also added a little bit of foam tape to that sub sentiment to try and pop that up above the flowers a little bit. I absolutely love this design. I have a couple other color combos in mind that I want to try out with this, but this was really fun to experiment mixing the new colors in with the previously released colors that they already have in their line. Now, I had one more idea, and that was using the edge dies, but only one of the edge dies. So I only need to ink blend one of the section of flowers. So you just need to pick out which one you want to do. I place that over on my white cardstock. This is actually cut to 4¼ by 5½, and you're going to see how this works out. But I'm starting out with a new color palette. This one is starting with honeysuckle. Is going to be the base layer for this. I do highly recommend masking off your edges. So you don't want any white cardstock showing here other than what is shown through the stencil. A lot of that is going to be because there's a good part of it that's going to be showing on our card front. Now I'm bringing in the second layer and I'm using Berry Kiss, which is also a brand new color and layered beautifully over honeysuckle, but then stepping that up a little bit with dragon fruit. And I did apply that kind of heavy handed to make it darker down towards the bottom. Great, great color combination with that. Then for the leaves, I'm going to start with a lemongrass. This has been one of my new favorites lately for adding a base layer of color because it's got such a bright pop to it. I don't know how else to explain it. And then I'm going to step it up with artichoke, which is another great option for layering over lemongrass. So I would say this is probably my more comfort zone when it comes to a color combination, but I still wanted to incorporate some of the new colors. So on this last layer of the stencil, I'm going to bring in Bluebell, which I think just works so nicely with these bright pinks. Once I finish blending that in, I'll remove that last layer of the stencil and you're going to see it is still just a gorgeous design on its own. But again, I really love that offset outline to it. So I will line that up in my Misty once again. I'm stamping that down with a black VersaFine ink. This does stay wet for a little longer. So you do want to make sure you heat set that before you touch it because you don't want to smear your ink. Now I'm using the coordinating die for this to die cut that out. And you'll see what this does is we're almost creating a card front. It's kind of a creative edge to your card design or even a creative fun fold. I'm going to use a Capri cardstock as the base, and I'm going to be using a sentiment from the Bold Stripes Greetings from Christina Warner set. But first, I need to create the card front. So I kind of missed a step. I really should have done the stenciling on an actual card base, but I didn't think of that at the moment. So I'm kind of improvising here. So what I did is I brought in my die cut piece, I placed it over the front, lining the edge up with the fold of the cardstock. I layered the die over the top and I'm using my blended piece as a guide. And then I'm holding the die down in place with post-it tape. And you want to make sure your base is open when you run it through the die cut machine. That's going to create that creative edge for you. So look how fun this is. So I know you can do this kind of on your own, getting creative with dies you already have in your stash. But I really love it when companies design it that way. It just makes it a lot easier for me, and I don't have to do a lot of thinking. I went ahead and added my blended panel over the top of that creative edge using a tape runner, and then heat embossed a sentiment at the bottom of my Capri cardstock. So I added some tape runner to the back of that Capri cardstock, and I'm adding it to the inside of my card. So that is going to be what they open up to. If you want to add a sentiment, you could add a piece of white cardstock hidden behind the flower panel. So when you open this up, there would be your message. But at the bottom, they're seeing that blue cardstock, the Capri cardstock. I just thought that was a really fun way to incorporate that creative edge die into my card. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope these two cards gave you some ideas for using the Garden's Edge dies to create decorative edges and try out some fresh color combinations with the new 2026 colors. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future inspiration. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Here's another video that I think you'll enjoy.